Hello and welcome to another edition of Nurse Amy Academy. Thank you all for for your support. I can't even begin to thank you enough. Um, there are those that have been there from jump. Someone who constantly, and I do this from time to time, who's constantly always encouraging me. If I post anything on Facebook, on Instagram, she will repost it and give a shout out and just encouraging me. My young lady, I just love you. And that's Jay Qualtress. I call her JQ. Jay Qualtress Bosman. I am going to give you a shout out. Thank you so much. I'm a very grateful person, and it means a lot to me that you're encouraging me. With Glam Care Academy, you're always there. I mean, I post something, she follows me everywhere. And there are those of you too who are doing that. I just want to say thank you. But Jay, from the bottom of my heart, I hope you're watching because I know you do. And if you're not, hopefully you see this, but someone will know to tell you. But thank you so much. So moving right along, something I wanted to talk about today because I just want to mention here when I teach. Okay, so the skills that I have on this channel, I have mentioned to you guys, they're still very helpful, they're still very useful. All you need to do, because right now in the state that I teach is we have combined skills, okay? So you just make sure to combine those skills together and it still works, okay? There are techniques that I teach. Hopefully those techniques will also help you because they have helped students in the past that I've taught. To God, I have to give glory to God. I'm a woman of faith. I'm not preaching to you, but again, that's my faith. I've not really had many people fail their state test. The reason being, again, I like a roadmap. I give you a roadmap of what works. If you follow it up to a T, then you get good results. Something I want to point out in your candidate handbook. Now, there's a section that says that if you have to carry out a skill, you have to actively show that skill. Does that make sense? Let me give you instances. So when it talks about pulling privacy curtain, it's not enough for you to say or just talk about it and say, and I pulled the privacy curtain. You have to actively show that you pulled the privacy curtain. If it's asking you to raise the bed, you have to show that you raise the bed. Okay, now there's a way that I teach that might be confusing for those of you who do not take classes with me, or either in my physical class or in my coaching classes or tutoring classes. I teach my students a technique called verbalizing the skill. Now, verbalizing the skill doesn't mean that you're not doing the skill. So let's get that right. Let's get that out of the way. Let's understand each other. Okay. When I tell you to speak to the skill or to speak to the situation, what I am saying, I'm actually buying you time. You are actually going to do that skill. Okay, please, if you don't understand me, leave a comment below or just write to me directly at nurseamyacademy@gmail.com. That way it's really fast for me to get. Okay, so say for instance, I always use bedpan for some reason, but let's use bedpan. Okay, so you have someone in bed, and you all know when I teach my skill, it's important to me that when you walk away from the bed or the bedside, the bed must be down. The reason being, it's about safety for your patient, and it's also it's well, that's the biggest thing. It's safety. There's something else I was going to say, but I don't want to take you out of that. That's just going into nursing. So it's safety for your patient. Now, there are times when I will teach my students. Again, I teach you to impress your RN test observers. I'm a registered nurse. I know what will press me. And I've run this by some of my colleagues. What do you think about this? And they're like, yeah, that's fine. If you're speaking to a situation, it doesn't mean that you're not going to do that skill. So again, let's take this bed pat. So in some of the books, it doesn't have you raising the bed. However, if you don't raise the bed, guess what? When you stoop over, then that's a ding on you. Why? Because now you're not using proper body mechanics. Okay. So when I have my students raise the bed, but as opposed to when you're taking the pan away, and then you have to put the bed down and then put the side rail and what have you. What I tell my students to do, I give them like 4 options. I'm like, okay, there are ways to do this. You tell the patient in bed, or whoever's in bed that's represented there, could be a mannequin, doesn't matter. You got to treat them like a real person. Or you tell your test observer. It is important. Listen to me very carefully, because I'm not asking you to leave the bed up. If you're going to leave the bed up because you're trying to save time, then you've got to speak to the situation. So the way I teach my student is, it's important that my patient is safe. So at this time, I'm holding this urine. This urine is very important for the skill. I don't want to spill it. So I'm just going to state here what I will do for my patient safety. The bed will be down, the side rails will be down, the call light is within reach of the patient, and my patient is safe. So I'm just going to go ahead to this corner right here and put my urine down, but I'm going to come back and address the situation. I'm going to take the bed down. Boom. Does everybody understand that? So please don't get confused and say, Nurse Amy says for us to leave the bed up. I didn't say that. I'm teaching you a way, me teaching you to do that and you actually doing that. You're showing off. You're pretty much just telling the nurse test observer that, you know what? I know this bed should be down. But right now, I'm so nervous. You can use anything, any word, you're human. You're not a machine. I'm a klutz. I'm so afraid of spilling this urine. And I know if I spill it, it's going to affect my reading. I might fail the skill and I don't want to. So can I quickly just speak to this situation? Because I know what to do. This bed is going to be down, side rails down, call light within reach. My patient is safe, but I just want to quickly go place this urine here. You can do that. I can bet you. You do that where your RN test observer is. They're gonna be so impressed. They'll be like, okay, fine, just go do what you need to do. They might even tell you, you know what, stay there, finish what you're doing, and then come back and clean up. Because I can tell you right now, like I've told all my students, you can have the bedpan in your hand because you cannot put it on the table. You should not. You shouldn't, unless they give you permission. You should not be placing it on the floor unless there's a barrier. So it's up to you. You can hold the urine, not speak to the situation, take the bed down, hand side rails, and give them the call light, make them comfortable, draw the bed covers, and you spill the urine. Which would you rather do? It's up to you. You just got to choose what works for you. So that's one thing I needed to point out, because I think some people got confused and saw some of my videos, and I think they're thinking that, oh, I'm just speaking to the situation means you're not going to do the skill. You need to do the skill. It's not enough for you to say, push back the curtain, do some cleaning. No, you got to show it. But there's a skill to it. If you have to buy time, you can kind of ask for permission to do what you're doing, and then you make sure, come back and do the right thing. Okay, I'm hoping that gave some clarification. And if you're still unclear, please, my intention is for you to pass. I don't want you to be confused. Please put in the comments, write to me directly, and let's clear this up. I don't want you confused. Your success is very important to me. I'm invested in your success. So again, thank you all for all your love, for all your support, and I'll catch you in the next video. Make sure you give me thumbs up. All right, take care. Bye.